My wife and her father kicked me out of the company I'd funded. You'll be back begging in a month. 7 years later, 99 missed calls lit up my phone. They were begging me not to acquire them, but I'd already signed. Part 1. 7 years later, 99 missed calls lit up my phone. They were begging me not to acquire them, but I'd already signed. My name is Daniel. I'm 43. The phone in my hand is the same phone I held 7 years ago, sitting in a parking lot outside a building I had paid for, watching the lights go off floor by floor as people I had hired locked up and went home without me. I had cried in that parking lot. I want to be honest about that. I had cried for about 40 minutes, with both hands on the steering wheel, in the kind of late summer Phoenix heat that makes the inside of a car feel like a confession booth. Then I had driven home to a house I no longer owned, to a wife who was, by then, no longer mine. But you should hear the beginning first, because my wife and her father kicked me out of the company I'd funded. You'll be back begging in a month. 7 years later, 99 missed calls lit up my phone. They were begging me not to acquire them, but I'd already signed. Part 3. I did not see Caroline again for 7 years. I want to tell you what I did with the $18.8 million, because what I did with the money is the part of the story that explains everything else. I started a new company. Not a medical device company. I had been done with medical devices the day I drove out of that parking lot. I started a software company that did something adjacent, hospital procurement analytics, that I had identified, during my time at Bellwether, as a category that nobody was building well. I knew the buyers. I knew the workflows. I knew the procurement directors at every hospital system Bellwether sold to, because I had spent 5 years selling to them personally. I founded the new company with 2 engineers I had quietly recruited away from. My wife and her father kicked me out of the company I'd funded. You'll be back begging in a month. 7 years later, 99 missed calls lit up my phone. They were begging me not to acquire them, but I'd already signed. Part 4. I did not contact Bellwether. I did not contact Caroline. I did not contact Howard. I let Daryl and the deal team run the process. For 3 weeks, Bellwether did not respond. Then, on a Friday in December, at 4:47 p.m. Phoenix time, my phone started ringing. Caroline. Howard. Caroline again. Howard again. Bellwether's CFO. Bellwether's general counsel. Caroline. 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 I did not answer. By Saturday morning, my phone showed 99 missed calls. I sat on the patio of my house in Scottsdale with a cup of coffee and I looked at the missed call. My wife and her father kicked me out of the company I'd funded. You'll be back begging in a month. 7 years later, 99 missed calls lit up my phone. They were begging me not to acquire them, but I'd already signed. Part 5. She was crying. Quietly. Her hands were on the manila folder. She was, for the first time in the 7 years and 10 months I had known her, completely without composure. I said, Caroline. Thank you for telling me. She said, Daniel. Please tell me what I can do. I sat with the question. I said, Caroline. There is nothing you can do. The acquisition is closing. The terms are set. I am not in this room to renegotiate. I am not in this room to forgive. I am in this room to do my job. I appreciate the apology. I really do. I want you to hear that. But the apology is something you needed to give, and I have received it, and that